What is up, everybody? This is Lyle with No Hippie Barbecue. What I'm going to be doing in this video is I'm going to be making a bacon wrapped stuffed meatloaf. Now, I've done a few different stuffed meatloaf recipes, but this is going to be a little bit different in that we're going to be having multiple layers in this meatloaf. Now, this was a recipe that I was inspired to make by one of those quick, tasty videos that you see either on Facebook or on YouTube. As a matter of fact, I'm going to go ahead and leave a link to that video in the iCard above and description below, just so you can see kind of what inspired me. I'm going to be doing my own twist on this. Theirs was completely different, but like most of my recipes, it's just something that sparked in me that kind of gave me an idea. Anyway, we are going to be using quite a few different layers in this recipe. Let's take a look at those layers. Hopefully this can serve more as inspiration than an actual recipe, but here's what we're going to be using and kind of layering this with. I have a pork and ground beef mix here. That's 80-20. We're going to be hitting it with a layer of garlic, so we are going to be about as funky as an old James Brown record by the time we're done with this. I have some leftover ricotta cheese with some Parmesan mixed in there, some mushrooms that I've cooked down, fresh basil. We're going to be hitting it with some provolone cheese, and obviously we're going to be wrapping it in bacon. As far as the patties go, I'm going to just leave them in patties, but I am going to season them with this herb blend here called Herb de Provence. It's just to give it a little flavor. I'm not going to be adding any salt to this. I believe there's going to be enough salt with our Parmesan cheese, with the ricotta, and our bacon. Our first step is to layer our bacon in our bread pan, and we're going to go half in, half out. And we're going to go all the way around. So that is a done deal. This is what we're looking like. Now I'm going to grab the rest of my ingredients and get this thing stuffed. So our first layer is just going to be our pork and beef mixture. And I'm going to sprinkle it with a little of this seasoning. Definitely want it cheesy, so we're going to go over it with our provolone cheese. And this is our ricotta. Get some of these garlic cloves in here. Like I said, this is not for the faint of heart as far as what your breath is going to be smelling like afterwards. You know, I'm good with that. Go with some mushrooms. And these are just mushrooms that I had cooked down. Some basil, a lot of basil. And I'm going to go more cheese over the basil. And we're going to finish it with 2 more layers of this beef pork mixture. A little more of that seasoning. Now let's just close it up. So that is a done deal. I'm gonna throw some foil on top of this, and then we're gonna throw it in the oven, 350 degrees, for about 45 minutes. So this has been in the oven for an hour, covered in foil. Now we're gonna throw it back in, uncovered, for another 30 minutes. So I just got this out of the oven. I'm gonna let it cool down a while, and there's a little bit of grease that's kind of pooled in there. I'm gonna just pour some of that out. I was trying to look through the through this pan, and I'm not sure how dark my bacon's gonna be. So what I may end up doing once this cools down is turn this over on a plate, then get it back in the oven just to brown up the bacon if needed. But we'll check that out in about 10-15 minutes. So that's a wrap. That's what it looked like. Let's get in and see what we think. Go ahead.
Wow.
It looks like Hetty Mercury likes it.
Mm-hmm. Outside bacon's nice and crispy. Everything inside is nice and moist. Oh, that's great.
Actually, this right here, listen, I could have let it cool down. When I cut it, it was kind of separating a little bit. If I'd have cooled it down, we'd have been good to go, but I've been wanting to eat on this all day, so we just went ahead and did it like this. Now, like I said, I'm gonna leave a link to that tasty recipe in the iCard above or description below, one of the two. Run by there so you can see what inspired me to make this. And like I said, their timing and temperatures and stuff like that varied a lot from what I had to do. And it may have had to do with the ingredients I used, I'm not sure, but just use your best, or use common sense when you're cooking it. You know, cook it until the bacon gets brown on the outside and you should be good to go. But listen, I'm telling you, this right here is Hetty Mercury approved. I'd like to thank you guys for stopping by No Hippie Barbecue. Comment, subscribe, and I'm out. This is better than that.
Mm-hmm. Mm.